In case of emergency, life happens to us all. You now have a place to formulate your plan to manage overwhelming situations, identify triggers, calming strategies, etc. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready because life be out here lifing, and the in case of emergency plan is the antidote. Before the storm comes, while you're clear-headed, you can make a plan in the event that life happens to you. When you get your journal, I'd encourage you to complete this page as soon as your journal arrives. What is a crisis or an emergency? According to the National Alliance on Mental Health, a mental health crisis is any situations in which a person's behavior put them at risk of hurting themselves or others and or prevent them from being able to care for themselves or function effectively in the community. This can look like homicidal thoughts, having thoughts of harming someone else, or suicidal thoughts, having thoughts of ending one's own life. It can also look like not being able to keep your body clean, eat, sleep, go to work, focus clearly, etc. It is when something occurs that overwhelms your ability to cope. It is just too much all at once. It could be a breakup, a loss of a loved one, a change in your health or mental health status, the loss of a job. This crisis plan can help you know what the signs are that you are in a crisis, what are the things that you can do on your own, who are the people you can go to, and what can you do if these thoughts persist, and where to go for help. Warning signs. This first section deals with how you know that you're in a crisis, emergency, or overwhelming situation. Some of the common reactions are listed below, and if any of these signs are true for you, fill in the circle next to the ones that are signs for you. There is an extra space if there's a sign that you know of that's particular to you that is not listed. It can be when you are feeling overwhelmed. What does overwhelmed look or feel like to you? Is it feeling like the walls are closing in on you? Feeling like life is pressing down on you, squeezing you? Does it look like a never-ending to-do list without having enough energy or hours in the day to get through it? It can also look like threatening behaviors. What are these? It could be saying that a person will hurt themselves, or it could be a sign. It could be a sign that people or pets. This type of anger is difficult to control and may show that you have already lost control. Is this a sign for you? If so, go ahead and fill in that circle. Drug use or withdrawals. Often substances are used to help people cope with stressful or overwhelming situations. Are you familiar with the term self-medicating? Do you self-medicate when life is lifing? Using drugs can cause a person's body to become attached or addicted to the substance. When that person does not use the substance, their bodies react and react badly. Sometimes they get physically sick, like they have the flu or diarrhea. Other times it may cause increased anxiety. It is important to get medical help if you are going through withdrawals, as they can be life-threatening. Is substance use or going through withdrawals a sign that you are going into a crisis or emergency situation? Or it could be some other warning signs. You know you best. Are there any other warning signs that could be signaling that you are going into a crisis or emergency situations? What are the events that cause you to have strong reactions or are triggers for anger or out of control behavior? Things like being told no or having advances rejected, not feeling heard. Coping strategies. Coping strategies are defined as behavioral or cognitive or mental tactics used to manage crisis conditions and demands that are considered distressing. It is how we can manage and get through upsetting, overwhelming situations. When working with younger people, I often show them a video entitled, "Why Do We Lose Control of Your Emotions?" This short video has some great information in it. One of the key takeaways is the concept of upstairs and downstairs brains. When people are in their downstairs brains, they are ruled by their emotions and impulses. We usually do not make good choices when we're in our downstairs brain. When we are in our upstairs brain, we are able to make good choices. Using coping strategies when we are in our downstairs brain help us make good choices that would help to make our problems smaller and not bigger, or do things like cause people to get arrested, or do things that could end relationships and things like that. This section has some common ways people get through tough moments. Going for a walk. This is giving yourself space from the upsetting situation to get some fresh air, allowing yourself some time to calm and make good choices. Take deep breaths. I was not a believer in this method until I was in Costa Rica, freaking out in the safety of my hotel bed about doing zip lining the next day. Using breathing and positive affirmations, I was able to calm myself enough to go to sleep. The next morning, several hundred feet in the air, my feelings of panic and fear crept back. Zip lining was the only way down. Taking breaths allowed me to leave my downstairs brain, calming myself. There were about 6 or 7 zip lines through the Costa Rican forest to the bottom. And about 2.5 zip lines in, I was finally able to open my eyes and enjoy the beauty that I would only be able to see from these heights. And I made it to the bottom. When we become upset, our breathing is one of the first areas that's impacted, not allowing us to get enough air to our brains to make good choices. Taking deep breaths can help us get enough oxygen to our brain so that we can access our upstairs brain. I will post links to this video and add some of my favorite breathing videos as well. Journaling. This is one of my favorite coping strategies. Putting pen or pencil to paper help us process and work through big, tough emotions. Journaling does not have to be grammatically correct, spelled right, none of that. It's about getting those big feelings and thoughts out of you and onto paper. Talking to a friend. Talking to a friend is like journaling. Having a safe place to freely share thoughts can be amazing and helpful. Playing with your pets. If you know me personally, you know I love my fur baby. I couldn't have a more better fur baby. He is also a coping strategy for me. There are days when I will just lay on the floor with him and pet him. It is as helpful to me as it is to him. Or walking him or watching him joyfully go after balls I throw to him. It is a huge stress relief. Pets are an enormous source of love and stress relief, even when they're being naughty. Watching a funny movie. Laughing can change the chemistry of your brain in similar ways to exercise. If you need a pick-me-up, try watching a funny video, stand-up comedy, a feel-good movie. A movie to which you have sentimental or positive connections to. There was a family I was working with that overwhelmed my coping strategies. I got into the habit of listening to a comedy station on Pandora when I left their home to help with my mental health. I remember going to see a comedian at the Improv, and I laughed so hard. I physically felt lighter when I left the club. Times. Those judgment-free zones where you can freely share your thoughts without being made fun of or teased. If you are like me, I'd say most people, we don't know our people's phone numbers by heart. Take a moment to list your safe people and their phone numbers. A screenshot of this can be taken and you can have it with you wherever you go. Hopefully, if you are having a challenging or overwhelming situation, going through the steps mentioned previously can help you. However, if thoughts persist, you may want to write out also the names and addresses of emergency rooms that is closest to your home. There are hotlines that you can talk to when you are in crisis. There is a National Suicide Prevention Hotline, which is listed along with their new number. The 988 number is like 911, but for mental health. Some cities have something called a mobile crisis unit. These are mental health professionals who are able to assess the level of crisis someone is experiencing and get them the appropriate help. Some police departments also have mental health professionals that come with them when they are called for someone in distress. Please take a moment and research local and law enforcement agencies in your area. Do they have a mental health professional that joins them on calls? Is there a mobile crisis unit that supports your area? For some communities, calling 211 is one of the ways to link to mental health services in your community. When life is calm, please research how people can safely get to the needed professionals if they are in crisis. If you experience a crisis or have gone through all of the above and you're still having a hard time, it may be time to seek out professional support. Immediately call 911 or get yourself to the nearest emergency room. If you are in counseling, this page can also be used as a safety plan and can be shared with your counselor or therapist. If not in counseling, would you consider finding one? Is there a safe person in your life that you can share this plan with to support you and hold you accountable to make sure that you're taking care of all parts of you?